You want to know why I'm standing on my back porch at 6 a.m., clutching a mug of coffee that's about as warm as my feelings for my neighbor, staring up at a monstrosity of metal that looks like it could talk to Mars? Or maybe why Gavin, that sentinel of the HOA, is standing just across the fence looking like he's about to have an aneurysm? Fair questions. To the untrained eye, you'd think I'd finally snapped, declared all-out war on the neighborhood's sacred suburban aesthetic. Maybe I have. But make no mistake, I didn't fire the first shot. No, the first shot came on a random autumn Sunday, with me just trying to watch my New York Giants lose another heartbreak in high def. That's really all it was. A football game. And so begins the whole damn saga. Let me paint you a picture. I live in Whispering Pines, where the grass is short enough to double as AstroTurf, and all the houses are painted in 50 shades of beige. Literally. You want Sandstorm, Dune, or my personal favorite, Desert Despair? We got 'em all. It's a nice place, I won't lie. Quiet. Safe. Property values are solid, so long as you never, ever color outside the lines set by the covenants, conditions, and restrictions, aka the HOA Bible. And presiding over this Bible, our own little suburban pope, Gavin. I knew Gavin was trouble the first day I moved in. Most folks bring a six-pack, maybe some muffins to welcome a new guy. Not Gavin. He brought a tape measure. Didn't even say hello. Just bent down to check if my mailbox was exactly 42 inches from a curb. It was 41. He let me off with a warning. Lucky me. Looking back, I should have packed up right then. Moved to a shack in Montana, raised goats, and never looked back. But I stayed. 3 years, me and Gavin, we had what you might call a Cold War. Uneasy peace, no outright hostilities. I kept my grass mowed. I brought him my trash cans on time. He'd nod at me the way you might acknowledge a raccoon that hasn't gotten into your garbage yet. Then came football season. Now, if you're a Giants fan living in Colorado, let me tell you, that is a particular kind of torment. Broncos coverage, wall to wall, every station, every time. If the Broncos aren't playing, you get 5 reasons why they should be, or highlights of their last loss played on a loop, slow-mo agony. A Giants game out here is like a unicorn sighting. And let's just say, local bagels have about the same hit rate. I tried streaming. I did. Paid for every damn app. Bought the deluxe package. But the internet in Whispering Pines is about as modern as a telegraph line. Every time Daniel Jones dropped back, the screen would freeze, and I'd be left hollering at a frozen helmet, praying to the cable gods for mercy. Eventually, I snapped. I wanted to watch my team disappoint me in 4K, live. Is that so much to ask? So I called the satellite guys, and the guy on the phone says, "We can do it. Direct line of sight, crystal clear." That was music to my ears. I told him, I don't care what it costs. Just do it. Tuesday rolls around, and here comes Dave, the installer. Dave's got the look of a man who's been chewing gravel since grade school. Gotta put on the chimney, he grunts, hiking up his pants. Only place that clears the trees. I glance up at the roof, thinking of Sarah, my wife. She hates technology that can't fit inside a woven basket. Will it be visible? I ask. Dave shrugs. It's gray. Roof's gray. If you squint, it's a vent. Good enough. So, Dave bolts it up there. Small dish, 18 inches, nothing crazy. Flips the switch. The picture is crystal. I could hear the quarterback's cadence, the crunch of pads, even the cursing from the O-line. For 48 glorious hours, I am a happy man. A man at peace. A man watching his team let him down in stunning clarity. Then comes Thursday. I'm in the garage, shifting screwdrivers around. My version of organizing. That's when I hear it. The slow, deliberate heel-to-toe footsteps of authority. I turn around. There's Gavin standing in my garage threshold, not looking at me, but craning his neck up toward the roof. He's got his clipboard, khaki shorts ironed crisp, polo tucked in so tight he's about to pop, and those boat shoes. Never seen a drop of water, those shoes. Evening, Gavin, I say, all casual. Maybe he's just admiring my architecture, right? Wrong. He lowers his hand, looks at me with that special blend of disappointment and glee, like a traffic cop clocking you going 55 in a 35. Jack, he says, nasal and reedy, we have a problem. He starts tapping his clipboard. It's not the bins, he says. It's the modification to the exterior of the primary dwelling. My stomach drops. The dish, he says. Article 4, Section C, Paragraph 2. The man doesn't even glance at the book, just rattles it off like the Pledge of Allegiance. No external antennas, satellite dishes, or receiving devices of any kind shall be affixed to the exterior of any home, fence, or outbuilding without the express written consent of the Architectural Committee. I try to plead my case. Gavin, come on. It's tiny. You got to be standing exactly here to even see it. But he's on a roll. Visibility is not the metric. Compliance is the metric. He's writing me up. Right there. Rips the pink slip off his pad. Gunshot loud in my quiet garage. You've got 72 hours to remove the device, Jack. After that, fines start at $50 a day. He leaves it on my workbench and strolls away like he just delivered a baby. I stand there, staring at the slip. Notice of non-compliance. I throw in the trash. Now, I should have given in, paid the fine, taken down the dish, lived to fight another day. But no, this was a matter of principle. I let those fines pile up, 50, then 100, then a letter about a lien on the property. Sarah finds out. She's the voice of reason in this family. Jack, I'm not losing the house over a football game, she says. Fix it. Go to the meeting. Be reasonable. So I go. The monthly HOA board meeting, a drama all its own. You ever been to one of these? Imagine a windowless room in the clubhouse basement, reeking of stale coffee and despair. There's Gavin at the helm, flanked by Linda the treasurer, who looks at numbers like they insulted her family, and Ken, the secretary, who's mentally on a beach in Maui. There's one other resident, old Mrs. Higgins, who's there to complain about a squirrel that, I kid you not, she thinks is mocking her. Gavin bangs his little gavel. Resident Jack Miller, violation appeal regarding the dish. Says it like it's syphilis. I do my best, show them pictures, plead my case. Linda's worried about the slippery slope. Kim mumbles something. Gavin moves to uphold the fine. Bang, motion carries. Just like that, I'm on the hook for $300 and a removal notice. And right there, something inside me snaps. It's not about the damn dish. It's about power, about a man in boat shoes telling me what I can do on my own roof. I storm home, rip the thing down in the dark. Bolts flying, cable snipped, dish landing with a sad metallic thunk. Sarah's watching from the patio, worried. Don't do anything stupid, she says. I won't, I tell her. I'm going to do something smart. That night, fueled by rage and cheap beer, I fall down an internet rabbit hole. HOA laws, federal statutes, loopholes, you name it. Around 2 a.m., eyes burning, I find it. An ancient forum post, black background, neon green text, about federal regulation PRB 1. The FCC protects amateur radio operators. Local governments, even HOAs, must reasonably accommodate antennas, no outright bans. And the pictures? Guys with 40-foot steel towers rising over their manicured lawns. It's ugly, yes, but it's legal. I buy the study guide. 2 weeks, I cram my brain with ham radio knowledge. Ohm's law, resistor color codes, standing wave ratios. My lawn turns into a jungle. I stop watching football. I'm muttering bad boys rape our young girls. Under my breath, look, it's a mnemonic for resistor colors, don't at me. Finally, test A comes. Fire station, Saturday morning. Room full of retirees with vests covering pockets. The volunteer examiner's beard looks like a bird's nest. I ace the test, technician, then general class. Walk out with a license that says I can build a tower that would give Gavin nightmares. Permit day. I'm marching to City Hall with Frank. The contractor, big guy, beard, gold tooth, looks like he could bench press a minivan. The city clerk, Deborah, stamps my permit. Says she hates HOAs too. Go Gimp, she grins. I hire Frank to build me a 40-foot self-supporting monolith of steel, right in the center of my backyard, perfectly aligned to block Gavin's mountain view. The morning of the dig, Frank shows up with an excavator that sounds like Armageddon. Gavin sprints over in his robe, boxers with little sailboats, shrieking about noise, about mud on his precious travertine tile. Officer Miller rolls up, checks my permit, shrugs. He's good, Gavin. Gavin threatens the EPA. I tell him to close his windows. It's going to get dusty. 7 days later, the crane comes. 3 cement trucks, backup alarms blaring, block the cul-de-sac. The neighborhood is out in force. Bathrobes, coffee mugs, eyes wide. Piece by piece, Frank bolts together my tower. 40 feet of galvanized steel, topped with a tri-band antenna that looks like it could talk to aliens. Gavin walks over, touches the cold metal, looks up defeated. Why, he whispers. Because I wanted to watch the game, Gavin. That's all. For a while, life is good. I talk to Italy, Australia, the ISS. Kids ask if it's a spaceship. Gavin cycles through the 5 stages of grief, denial, anger, bargaining. I'll pay for Sunday ticket if you take it down. Depression, and finally, resignation. But of course, the war isn't quite over. One night, I get ambitious. Hook up an amplifier, crank up the juice. Suddenly, Gavin's calling, panicked. Jack, why is your voice coming out of my toaster? Turns out his fancy smart home is picking up my transmissions. I calmly suggest some tinfoil. A few days later, Gavin goes nuclear. Emergency HOA board meeting, this time with a lawyer. They threaten a lawsuit. Nuisance, property value, emotional distress. I call my guy, Saul. He's a ham operator too. Loves sticking it to HOAs. Saul strolls into the meeting, drops a stack of papers with a satisfying thunk. Tells the board that a federal lawsuit will bankrupt the association. Every email about Mrs. Higgins' squirrel will become public record, and everyone in the room will be hit with a $2,000 assessment. The neighbors revolt. Bob and Mrs. Higgins speak up. Jack, fix my toaster. Gavin collapses. Fine, keep your damn tower. And that was that. Gavin quits the board, stops mowing his lawn, a silent protest. But one Saturday, he comes by, curiosity finally beating out his pride. I show him the radio, let him talk to a guy in Rome. For a moment, he's just a guy geeking out over tech. Next day, I find a bag of zip ties on my porch. It's not peace exactly, but it's something. 3 months later, Gavin moves to Arizona, says it's for the grandkids, but I think we both know the truth. The tower's still standing. It's weathered blizzards, a pigeon attack, and the endless grumbling of newcomers. Sometimes, I stand at the base at night, watch the red light blink against the stars. I started this out of spite, out of stubbornness, out of a refusal to let some clipboard-wielding bureaucrat dictate my happiness. But somewhere along the way, I fell in love with the science, the thrill of bouncing my voice around the globe. Late at night, new neighbors ask, "What is that thing?" And I grin, point up, and say that's a monument to freedom and to football. They look confused, but I don't care. Now, here's the thing. What did I learn? Not much about winning, if I'm honest. You never really win against the machine. You just carve out a little space for yourself. Sometimes you build a tower, and sometimes the tower changes you. Maybe that's the moral. Sometimes the petty fights are the ones that show you what you're made of. Maybe the real win isn't beating Gavin or the HOA or even talking to Australia. It's knowing that when you're pushed, you still remember how to push back. So tell me, where's the line between following the rules and standing up for yourself? When does stubbornness become principle? What's the price of a little freedom? Drop your thoughts below, or tell me about your own Gavin story. Because let's be honest, we've all had one.